Hi students, last video just I introduced the semiconductors topic, and in that I given the solids are classified into different classification based on that criteria we consider, based on that arrangement, crystalline, amorphous, and based on the electrical conductivity properties, conductors, semiconductors, insulators. So these are the three types of solids we have where the electrical conductivity property is considered or taken the criteria to make the classification of these solids, right? And in that we concentrate mainly on semiconductors, that is we required. But before getting into that in detail about semiconductor, why these materials are having the conductivity properties are different, correct? So conductors are having the allowing the flow of current, they are having the free charges, and their conductivity is in the range of 10 power 2 to 10 power 8 ohm inverse meter inverse. So that much amount of the conductivity will be there for conductors. And for semiconductors it is about 1 ohm inverse meter inverse to 10 power minus 5. So that is a very small amount of the conduction is there. And for insulators you can be having this very small, it is a 10 power minus 8 and below. So that much very small for conductors, it is insulators it is negligible. So that is you can be having here, if you see the conductivity range for conductors, if you are having these conductors, the conductivity value is, it is in the range of 10 power 2 to 10 power 8 ohm inverse meter inverse. And similarly for semiconductors, the conductivity range is sigma, it is 1 to 10 power minus 5 ohm inverse meter inverse. And also these insulators are having the sigma is very small, it is 10 power minus 8 and below of this. So this is the very low, it is, you can be say negligible, it is negligible, the conduction related to insulators. So all are solids only, all are having the atoms only, their arrangement is very closely packed. By these are having the conductivity more, these are having the some average or in between the insulator and conductors, these are having negligible conductivity. So why these materials are having like this? So that explanation given in detail, why these materials having the conductivity, insulators having the not conducting, and semiconductors having in between insulators and conductors, the conductivity properties are exist. So this explanation given by band theory of solids. There is a band theory of solids which is explained on the basis of Pauli's exclusion principle. That is obeying the Pauli's exclusion principle, not violating that. You might be crossed or you can be aware about that in your chemistry part. Alright, so Pauli's exclusion principle. So according to that, without violating the Pauli's exclusion principle, and these semiconductors, conductors and insulators, how they can be having the property of electrical conductivity. That electrical conductivity properties for these materials are different. So that is explained by band theory of solids. So now we have here band theory of solids. Band theory of solids. So by this we can be explained these conductors or insulators or semiconductors has a different electrical conductivity properties. So how it can be explained? So this band theory of solids is obeyed. Which one is? Pauli's exclusion principle. On the basis of this, without violating this principle, Pauli's exclusion principle. So that is no two electrons are present in the same orbit having the different energy levels. So that is, you can be having information about this Pauli's exclusion principle. I am not giving in detail about that, right? Just remember this band theory of solids will be which one? Obeying this principle. Okay, that is explained. Now in this, you can have here the terminology required. That is band. So what is a band? So band is here related to the set of energies of electrons which are having almost equal amounts. So they are locating into a region because they are having almost equal energies, as here in solids we are having here in a solid atoms are very closely packed. This is the one of the atom. Around these electrons are revolving in different energy levels. This is the nucleus. This is the one of the atom. Nearby this we have the one more atom also, very closely packed in solids, right? So here you can be having the one more atom, and there also you can be having these electrons are revolving in their respective orbits are having the energies different, right? So now you can be having, this is the one atom, this is the one atom. There is one more atom also you can be having. The electrons are revolving like this. So in this you can be observed to be having, there is an intermixing of these electrons, right? The collisions are the intermixing of that electrons which are having same energy levels. They will be locating at a certain energy level. Which energy they can be having at that position, you have the number of electrons are possessed, right? So that is we can be called as a band. Band is, it is a formation of a layer or formation of a number of electrons locating at one place having the almost equal energies. So that formation of a layer of electrons having the same energies are known as, or is known as band. Correct? The band is set of electrons. Set of electrons forming a layer. Forming a layer having almost equal energies, having equal energies is called band. Is called band, right? So this is what you can be having. So with related to this band, we have the two types of or the different types of bands we have here. Based on which type of electrons this band is formed. So based on that we have here is, one is valence band, another one is conduction band. So valence band, it is VB. What is the valence band? Just already I said what is the band. Band is, it is set of electrons or number of electrons having the same amount of energies. They are locating at a position having the same energy. That energy level they will be having the number of electrons are existing. So that set of electrons forming as a layer, we are calling that one as a band. If that set of electrons are related to valence electrons, or the band is formed with respect to valence electrons, then it is called valence band. So valence band is the set of electrons or the valence electrons are forming as a band, which is known as valence electrons. So valence band. So here valence band is, it is a band formed with valence electrons. Band formed with which one? With valence electrons is called valence band. Is called valence band, right? Similarly, you can have one more, that is called as a, which one it is? It is called as a conduction band. That is one more here. We have conduction band. So what is conduction band? CB. So the name of this one itself, you can be having conduction itself. Conduction means it is having the free electrons. That means the free electrons which are having the almost equal energies, they will be forming as a layer, that is called as a band. That band is called conduction band. So here band formed with conduction electrons. So band formed with which electrons? Conduction electrons or free electrons which are ready to make the flow of current or allowing the flow of current, formed with conduction electrons is called conduction band, right? So these are terminology we have to remember. And there is one more is there, that is called forbidden energy gap or forbidden energy gap. Forbidden energy gap. So this is the energy gap or the energy level existing between conduction band and valence band. Between the conduction band and valence band, we can be having the some energy gap. That energy gap is called forbidden energy gap. The energy gap between the conduction band and valence band is known as forbidden energy gap. Correct? So here it is the energy difference between conduction band and valence band is called forbidden energy gap, right? So that is, you can be having here, let it be, I am observing this one. So this is the energy levels I am representing. This is the minimum energy for the electrons, and above this you can be having here, just above this one, that is here it is valence band, and further above this you can be having here it is, this is conduction band. So in this you might be having the electrons, and in this also you can be having the electrons, maybe, may or may not, depends on the material. So the energy gap between these two, here this is the energy, the y-axis we are taking the energy levels of electrons. You might be observed, or we discussed in hydrogen spectral series, we represented now that energy levels of the electrons in different orbits. So similarly you can be having the different energy levels can be possessed and forming as a band. These electrons are possessed valency electrons and valency band. These electrons are the conduction electrons and which are conduction band. So the energy gap between these two, this is what it is called as the forbidden energy gap. Forbidden energy gap. So this terminology you have to remember, right? In order to explain about the conduction properties of these conductors, semiconductors and insulators, we require to know about this terminology, that is what is a band, what is a valency band, conduction band, and energy gap between these two is known as the forbidden energy gap. Forbidden energy gap, right? Once we are having this terminology, then we can go for the discussion related to how this conduction can be takes place for conductors, semiconductors and insulators. So we'll see that part, right? And now, first we can go for these conductors. So in case of conductors, how these arrangement of these bands are existing, that is valence band, conduction band, how they will be existing, how they will be formed in case of conductors, so that the conduction property can be takes place. So first we can be explaining, that is which one it is, conductors. So in case of conductors, the arrangement of these bands, that is valence band and conduction band, is such a way that you can be observed here. So this is I am representing the energy level diagram for conductors, how these VB and CD, valence band and conduction band, they can be exist. So here this is I am representing valence band, and over this you can be having there is a one more, that is called as a, which one it is, here up to this you can be having the conduction band, and up to this you can be having the valence band. So in case of this you can be having here these conduction band and valence band, both are here overlapping with each other, which represents that for any material, for every solid material, conduction electrons are exist. The electrons are always present, valence electrons in this valence band. Valence band never empty. Valence band never empty. And also it can be possessed, may be completely filled, or this is also having some amount of electrons in case of conductors, whereas here valence band possesses electrons. So these electrons also able to existing in conduction band, right? Because this conduction band and valence band both are overlapping with each other. Here we can be observed both are intermixed with each other. So here what is the Fermi energy level? Fermi energy level. So energy gap is equal to how much it is? Energy gap is equal to this 0 electron volts. There is no energy gap because both are mixed together, overlapped with each other. So right, because of that, the Fermi energy level is not exist there is 0. There is no energy gap. How many electrons are present? They are also able to present in the conduction band. Once it has a conduction band, possess electron, it has a property of conduction. Right? So for conductors, always you can have here the existence of electrons in the conduction band. So because of that, you have always the property of conduction for conductors. So this is just I am representing as somewhat bigger one. See this. So this one is, it can be called as a conduction band, and over this you can be having this one, there is valency band. Up to this it is VB, and up to this it is CB. So here that energy gap is 0 electron volts, and here electrons are existing in valency band. So these electrons are also able to present in the conduction band also, because these electrons are present here also, right? So here it is overlapping. So these electrons also present in where? In conduction band. So when the electrons are existing in conduction band, you have the property of conduction. So always conductors has the property of conduction as electrons are present in the conduction band. So in case of conductors, you can have here the information is, the important information you can write here, energy gap is 0 electron volt, and here VB and CB are overlap, and here this VB is always, it is completely filled, and this CB may or may not be completely filled, but always it can also possess the electrons. So VB is completely filled and CB is partially filled, but some electrons are present. I am not saying this may be completely filled or it is never empty. You can be saying CB is never empty. This is completely filled, it is never empty. So that you can be observed here. VB completely filled, and you can be observed CB never empty. So this is what you can be observed, right? And I told already in the last video related to these conductors, when the temperature increases, the resistance offered by the conductors also increases, and its conduction will be decreases. So here you can be observed this temperature increases, which implies resistance offered by the semiconductor will, that is conductor will be also increases. Therefore, conduction is decreases, conductivity decreases. So that is, you can be having the for conductors. And here that alpha, temperature coefficient of resistance for conductors is positive. So alpha is positive. That is, what is alpha? It is the temperature coefficient of resistance. Temperature coefficient of resistance is positive for conductors, right? So this is about the conductors. Why the conductors having the property? Because they are always possess electrons in conduction band. Conduction band never empty. So because of that, these conductors are having the property of conduction. Right? Followed? So these are the important points. So your bands, with related to bands, we are explaining why the conductors are having the property of conduction, as this is the reason we have. Because always it has a property of conduction where electrons are present in the conduction band. Conduction band is never empty. So because of that, you can have the information about these conductors as the property of conduction. Right? Similarly, we can go for the insulators. Which one? Insulators. Then we can go for the semiconductors. Right? So I'll go for next one. It is insulators. So how these energy bands are existing or forming in case of these insulators. So if you observe in case of insulators, the existence of the valency band and conduction band are having very large gap. This is conduction band. Here it is an energy gap. So this energy gap is greater than, you can be having 3 electron volts. 3 electron volts. Then you can be called that as solid material is called as an insulator. Any solid material which is having the energy gap between the VB and CB is more than 3 electron volts. You can have the, which one it is? Insulation property. Very, very low conduction, negligible conduction is there. So because of that we can be called it as an insulator. So insulators are having the energy gap between the valence band and conduction band is greater than 3 electron volts. And in this valence band you can be having the electrons, valence electrons are present. And here energy gap is very, very high. So here you can be say energy gap. Energy gap is greater than, you can be say it is 3 electron volts. 3 electron volts. And VB and CB are overlapped. So here VB and CB are not overlapped, they are having large gap. That energy gap is very, very large. So in this case, what you can be observed here? So here valence band can possess electrons, valence electrons are present. So this valence band is maybe completely filled or partially filled, but always it is valence band never empty. Valence band, remember, never empty. And here conduction band is always empty for these insulators. So here VB never empty for any material, but CB is here, it is always empty. Always empty. Even you are increasing the temperature also, these electrons are not at all getting into this, always it is empty. It is empty, you can be observed. When there is no electrons in conduction band, it has no property of conduction. It has no property of conduction. So because of that, it is having no conduction at all at any temperature, right? Even you are increasing the temperature also, these electrons are not overlapping or not overcoming this energy gap. They are unable to shift into valence band to conduction band, even you are increasing the temperature. So right, so here you can have this temperature effect on this, or alpha. Alpha is here resistance. Already it has more resistance. There is no effect of temperature for this one. So you can be observed to be having this is alpha is, it is 0. That is temperature coefficient of resistance is 0. That resistance is, you don't have any changes. Already it is having very, very large, it is a maximum. So even you are changing the temperature also, there is no change in the resistance. So that it can be having the temperature coefficient of resistance for insulators is 0. Correct? So temperature effect does not make any changes for the insulators. Right? So in this way you can be having. So you can remember here, what is an insulator? The insulator having the energy gap between valence band and conduction band is more than 3 electron volts. Then you can call that solid material is called as a insulator. And always in insulators the conduction band is empty. No electron is present. As there is no electron is there, it has no conduction. Because of that we can call it as an insulator. Right? Now coming to this, which one is the third one? That is, we required our topic itself that only, so we can be get that one. So here the third one is, which one? Semiconductors. So this is we required, semiconductors. So in semiconductors, how these energy levels are, energy bands are existing, are forming. So here you can be having this one, it is called as the valence band, and here over this you can be having it is a conduction band. Here the energy gap is there. This energy gap is very, very small. That is less than 3 electron volts. Less than 3 electron volts. So here you can have the electrons in valence band. Electrons are present in valence band. So here valence band always possesses electrons in any material. Maybe it is a solid, that is a semiconductor or conductor, or maybe insulator. But valence band is, it is existing electrons. But in case of conductors it is completely filled. But in case of semiconductors and insulators, may be completely filled or partially filled. It is not compulsory. But in case of here semiconductors, you can have here this energy gap is very small. This energy gap is depends upon, the energy gap is depends upon the material. If you are observed to be having the energy gap for germanium, the energy gap is given by 0.7 electron volts. And for silicon, the energy gap is given by it is 1.1 electron volt. And there is a, you can be having gallium arsenic, GaAs. So it is having some more than 2, or it is 1.9 or 2. The energy gap is approximately it is 1.9 or 2 sometimes. So this is next one, gallium fluoride. So it is energy gap is about 2.5 or 6 electron volts. So here this energy gap between this valence band and conduction band is varies with respect to their respective semiconductors. Germanium, silicon, gallium arsenide, gallium fluoride. So all these are different types of semiconductors. So these semiconductors having the different amount of energy gap. So generally the first two are we are familiar, but these two are used to construction of the devices. Like other types of applications in electron devices construction, we can be prepare a special type of semiconductors. They are called as the gallium arsenic and gallium fluoride. So they will be having a different energy gap. Based on that energy gap only, we can be use that semiconductor for different applications. We will see afterwards, right? So as of now, you remember these energy gaps. So energy gaps are different for different semiconductors we have, right? So in that way we can be having. So majorly you remember this first two because that is very very important for calculation part when you are entering into some extension. Okay, right? So here energy gap is, you see in all these it will be less than 3. So there is having the property of conduction for the semiconductors only certain conditions. That is here. See here, initially there is no electron in the conduction band. That means here you have here the first observation. Conduction band is not having any electron, poses at which temperature? At 0 Kelvin. At what temperature? At 0 Kelvin temperature. Here conduction band is empty. Conduction band is empty. When the conduction band is empty, it can be behaves as an insulator. Right? It has no electron here. Conduction band has no electrons. Make the conduction. Because of that it can behave as an insulator. So at 0 Kelvin temperature, conduction band is empty, therefore it can be act as insulator. What is that? It can be act as insulator. This is important point, this first one. At 0 Kelvin, I am saying, not 0 degrees Celsius. Remember, at 0 Kelvin temperature, conduction band is empty and it can be behaved as an insulator. Suppose at 0 degrees Celsius, let it be. 0 degrees Celsius is equal to how many kelvins? It is 273. Yes or no? So 0 degrees Celsius is nothing but it is 273 Kelvin. Right? So 273 Kelvin is greater than 0 Kelvin or not? It is a 273 increases. That means that is a 0 degrees Celsius is having some temperature that is absorbed by these electrons present in the valence band, and these electrons will be shifting into the conduction band by overcoming this energy gap which is very very small. See, if the semiconductor is there, it is germanium. If the electrons are having the energy of only 0.7 electron volts, it is enough to make that conduction by these electrons from valence band to conduction band. It can be transfer, it can be make the transition, it can be shift. So these electrons can be moved from valence band to conduction band by observing energy. How much is required? This energy gap, amount of energy is required. So by increasing the temperature, the electrons present in this valence band, they can acquire sufficient of energy to overcome this energy gap, and they can be shifting into the conduction band when you are increasing the temperature. So because of that, some of the electrons can be shifted. From where to where? From valence band to conduction band, the electrons can be shifted. When electrons are shifted from this valence band to conduction band, now you can be having some electrons in conduction band, then it has a property of conduction. So if it is asking at 0 degrees Celsius, it can be behaved as conductor, or maybe at room temperature. At room temperature, it can be behaved as conductor. A semiconductor can be as a property of conduction when temperature is increases or greater than 0 Kelvin. Right? So at 0 Kelvin, no electron is present in conduction band. So because of that, it has no conduction, it can be behaved as an insulator. Once the temperature is greater than 0 Kelvin, then it has some number of electrons which can be shifted from valence band to conduction band. Then electrons are present in the conduction band and it has a property of conduction and it can be viewed as conductor. Right? So at room temperature or greater than 0 Kelvin temperature is given for any semiconductor, it can be behaved as conductor, right? So that is very very important, right? So this is a reason the semiconductor can be behaved as an insulator as well as a conductor, depends upon the temperature, and at room temperature are greater than 0 kelvins, always it can be has a property of conduction. So when you take any silicon or germanium or this any one of the semiconductor which has the property of conduction at room temperature is about 27 degrees Celsius, it is nothing but 300 Kelvin, right? So at room temperature definitely any semiconductor can be behaved as conductor itself. So we need not be given any temperature for the semiconductors to make the conduction, because this room temperature itself it is enough to make the conduction property for semiconductors. There is no requirement of specially given or externally given, manually given the temperature for that semiconductor, not mandatory, not required. By the room temperature itself it has a property of conduction. Followed. So this is what you can be having the semiconductor. So this is we want to require to make the further discussion about the semiconductors. So now you can be followed, I think so, right? Right. So here this may be empty or it may be filled, depends upon the temperature. But this will be always it can be having the electrons in valence band, maybe it is completely filled or maybe partially filled, but always possess. So this is what regarding the semiconductors, right? And this is insulators, and previously we discussed that is conductors. So how these bands are locating based on the energy gap between this valence band and conduction band, whether the conduction band possesses electrons or not. So accordingly the property of conduction for the respective solids can be possessed, right? So this is regarding your band theory of solids. Accordingly we can be explained the conduction property can be possessed by these materials based on these how these bands are formed and how their gaps are locating, and when they will be having the conduction, when they not having the conduction. And here the important one is, if you see, okay, that we can be observed to be having in case of the semiconductors. Okay, we can be having here semiconductors are regarding this, it is a tetravalent silicon, the atomic number is 14, yes or no? So the valence is 4, the last it will be, you can have here 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 and 3s2, 3p2. So these are the outermost electrons, it is 4, valence is 4. So it is semiconductor. If you go for the carbon is 6, right? So you can be having 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. So here also you can be having how many? 4 valency. So carbon and silicon, even though both are having the valence is 4 and 4, but the silicon is semiconductor, carbon is, it is insulator, an insulator, even though both are having the valence is 4. So why? Because this carbon is having the valence is 4, but this is second orbit, but this is third orbit. So they are having more energies, right? They will be having more energies. The electrons present in the outermost, that is orbit, is having the more energies. So this is one different. And another one is, you can be having this carbon, the existence of this valence band and conduction band having the energy gap is about, it is greater than 3 electron volts. It is for carbon, the energy gap is Eg is equal to, it is about 6 electron volts. The energy gap is how much? The energy gap between this valence band and conduction band for carbon is 6 electron volts, which is very very high. Any material having the energy gap is greater than 3 electron volts, that is belongs to, it is an insulator, right? So now it is behaves as an insulator. So carbon is an insulator, silicon is a, which one it is? It is a semiconductor, right? So in this way we can discuss the conduction property of these materials. So in detail about the semiconductors, types of semiconductors, so that we can be discussing in the next video, right? Signing off.